I work as a security guard for a company that takes jobs no one else will. Part 4, continued. One thing that happened to another guy on shift still puts me on edge. This guy named Chris was in the guardhouse with his partner, and the partner decided to go for a patrol earlier. Chris continued reading his book as the partner left the place. 1 minute later, he heard the doors shut behind him and the thud of his footsteps outside. "Forget something, huh?" he asked, not looking up from his book. The partner put his hand on Chris's shoulder, and Chris raised his head, ready to turn around. As he does, he sees his coworker pass next to the window outside. Chris froze, staring at the window, at the reflection of the figure standing behind him. He says he felt the grip on his shoulder tightening. Bracing himself as well as he could, he swiftly turned around, drawing his gun and pointing it at nothing. No one was there. I checked the recordings of the camera feed in the guardhouse, and sure enough, no one was there with him. I could see Chris on the camera, sitting up, visibly becoming tense and turning around with his gun drawn, before looking around and finally holstering the weapon. He looked like a crazy person from this angle. I never figured out what that was, or the other occurrences in the complex, but HQ issued new orders shortly after. The guards who were on the shift were to stay together at all times, even patrolling in pairs and communicating via code sentences every 30 minutes to ensure their partner wasn't an imposter. Chris told me of another incident he had during one of his shifts. He said that he saw someone suspicious on camera in front of one of the offices way after working hours, so he went to investigate. Halfway through, the partner radioed him and said he lost the person out of sight. It was strange, though, because apparently he only turned around for 1 second and the guy on the camera was gone. However, he said he thought he noticed movement on the camera which overlooked the windows of the office from the outside. He said it was on the second floor. Chris decided to investigate it. As he's doing his sweep on the second floor, his partner radios again halfway into his patrol and asks him if he found someone. Chris says no, asking if he sees anything on camera. The first partner says no, and then he pauses mid-sentence. Chris asks him to confirm what he said, and the partner tells Chris he should come back to the guardhouse. Chris wanted to finish the sweep, but the partner insisted he come back to the guardhouse at once. Frustrated, he returned and asked him what was wrong. "You really didn't see anyone in there?" the partner asked. When Chris said no, the partner called him over to look at one of the camera feeds. He rewound the footage to where he could see Chris in the window with the flashlight and told him to pay close attention. Chris wasn't alone there. When his beam flashed across the window, it caught a silhouette staring at the camera. The next few seconds of the recording were spent with him talking to his partner on the radio, and in addition to the window silhouette, there was now a person standing directly behind him. As Chris moved through the room, more and more people became visible in the room, all staring directly at him, while he was completely oblivious to their presence. After that, he saw himself exiting the building, while the people in the building were disappearing, or more like blending in with the darkness. Overall, I've worked in various fucked up places, but this one seems to be the most dangerous and aggressive one, with even HQ not being able to predict some things. If any of you know anyone who has similar experiences to mine as a security guard, chances are we work for the same company. This story comes from the NOSLEEP subreddit by author BORIS BACIC.